Welcome to Front Office, where athlete entrepreneurs take their talents from the field to the boardroom. Presented by UBS, the world's leading global wealth manager. Today, we're in Los Angeles, where two startup companies will pitch and compete in hopes of securing an investment from a retired 11-year WNBA veteran. Throughout the process, the entrepreneurs will be coached by someone who knows a thing or two about both the professional athlete world and building your investment portfolio.
I'm Wale Ogunleye, head of sports and entertainment at UBS. After playing 11 years in the NFL, I know how important it is for professional athletes to build their wealth, but also impact lives away from the game. Today, we'll be joined by Renee Montgomery. You may know Renee as retired 11-year WNBA superstar and two-time champion. But today, we're gonna show you how Team Montgomery handles their business off the court.
We're heading to UBS. I'm excited. There's a couple companies that I want to hear about to see if we can make a deal. I decided to come on the front office because what? Of course I'm coming on the front office. This is dope. I'm just being into the space of business and investing, a show that's highlighting athletes. We do this all the time. You know, we break down deals all the time, whether it's sponsorship deals or not. We still have to go through the same process that somebody investing in a company would. So when I heard about front office and the idea of basically what we do behind the scenes we're gonna do on camera, I was excited because people should see athletes in that light. The first thing that I like to look at when I'm thinking about investing in a company is how are they already doing, and that's number one, and then their trajectory. You know, where are you heading? Are you stagnant? Have you been in the same place for a while? Does things need to be reworked? So I like to see kind of where they are and where they're going. I've been pretty blessed because my family, you know, my mom has multiple masters and she's an executive advisor to my company. My fiance, Serena Grace, she just graduated in journalism and emerging media. So of course she's my PR and marketing team. So it's exciting to have family that's gonna protect me, but also experience. All right, I'm ready to hear what these companies have to offer. Let's get it popping.
Since retiring from the WNBA, Renee Montgomery has expanded her investment portfolio. Renee is currently a part owner of the WNBA organization Atlanta Dream. Today, she plans on adding to her growing list of investments by choosing a new company to partner with.
Wale!
Hey, Renee.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Welcome to UBS.
Thank you.
Your team's already here.
Okay.
Hope you're excited about the pitches you're gonna see today. You wanna go in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Muchos Montgomerys, what's up? Okay, squad. What up, baby? Let's go. Let's look a book at what do we have? What do we have?
Okay, I'll start off with a very intriguing company for me because it's the world's first Bluetooth-enabled mouth guard. So I think that's pretty interesting, especially since athletes need a lot of, checking on their biometrics when they're working out. And so it allows you to do it yourself and your trainers to get the information. So I'm kind of tickled to hear about this.
Interesting. We know Vancy Pants is playing football. What you got?
So you know how name, image, and likeness is huge right now. So we have a platform to help athletes monetize their brand. So I think that's pretty interesting.
I'm interested in that. I'm so into name, image, and likeness. So, okay, I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Let's get it.
First, we have a company looking to capitalize on the newly announced name, image, and likeness rules for young athletes.
Hi, my name is Jason Bergman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MarketPrice. The idea for MarketPrice really came from my background. I worked with brands for about 3 years, helping them connect with professional athletes for marketing deals. And then on the flip side, I spent a couple years running my own sports marketing agency, representing athletes, helping them find marketing deals. MarketPrice was really built out of solving the problems that I experienced both on the brand side as well as the athlete side. If you're an athlete, even 10 years ago, you'd probably default to, yeah, I need an agent to do this. Now with this new generation, it's an ownership mentality where athletes want to be able to do this, but there's no tools available. And that's what MarketPrice wants to be. We want to be able to be that tool that college athletes, pro athletes are able to use and utilize to make meaningful connections with brands.
MarketPrice is a company that empowers athletes of all levels. It helps them take control of their own brand. As a retired pro athlete, Renee has invaluable experience with off-the-court business that happens in between the brands and the athletes. Market Price will need to come prepared if they're hoping to secure an investment. So I sent them over to Indochino to make sure that they're dressed to impress. Hey, Jason, welcome to UBS.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here.
Let's sit down and have a talk about your pitch.
Let's do it.
Jason, I'm excited to have you here and get you in the boardroom. So let me get you into my coaching points.
Great.
First, I would make it relatable. You're pitching a athlete-driven platform to a world-class athlete. Infuse her journey and her experiences into your company. Number 2, showcase ROI. Whether it's an athlete investor or a regular investor, people want to know when they're going to get their money back. Also, let them know scalability. Are you going to be a small company or a big company, and the time frame?
Great. Yeah, I love that.
Number 3, highlight the industry's momentum with name, image, and likeness and the legislation that just passed. This is going to be a big thing. Make sure Renee and her team understands why you, being on the ground floor, are the right team to help push this initiative forward. For NIL, the opportunity has opened up for so many people, whether it's gender, demographics, where you're from, status. This is a great opportunity for your firm. I'd also touch on the gender inequality in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Women athletes get such a small piece of the pie. How will your company help reduce that gap? Well, Jason, it looks like you're ready. You got my points, and I'm gonna wish you the best of luck.
Hey, thanks so much, Wale. I appreciate the insight.
Good luck in there. See you on the other side.
Hey, guys.
What up, Jason?
What's going on, everybody? How are you?
Today?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me, and I'm really excited to tell you more about Market Price. So, background on myself, my name is Jason Bergman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Market Price, the two-sided marketplace connecting professional athletes, student athletes, sports agents, and brands for endorsement deals. So, our team believes that the athlete marketing industry is an incredibly untapped market, where in 2020, the top 100 athletes earned $7.2 billion, according to Forbes. And that top 100 athletes, as you can see here, does not include the 500,000 college athletes who are eligible to do marketing deals for the first time, in history, the 10,000 Olympic athletes, 750 NBA, NFL athletes, 600 WNBA and NBA athletes, 8,000 esports athletes, the list goes on. We believe that this top 100 athletes, they represent just 0.01% of the total athlete market. So we believe that the biggest reason for this massive pay gap, right, between the top 100 athletes and everybody else is simple. It comes down to access, or really lack thereof. And Renee, not to get too off topic already, you speak about this all the time, right? Everybody deserves a seat at the table. And we know that not every athlete has the same access to the same opportunities. And that's exactly what we're trying to change at Market Price. So for us, and this is where I always like to compare Market Price to like a dating app, because this lack of access is real. Where dating apps are, you guys are engaged, right? I'm married, I'm not on dating apps. But you know how they work, right? With a swipe of your finger, you connect two people who actually want to be matched. And that's why they're so successful. And that's exactly what we're doing at Market Price.
I actually think it's going really well. I was a little nervous walking in, but as the presentation got going, Renee, Serena, Snook, they've all been really easy to really pitch to and really receiving of what we're talking about. So, fingers crossed, but I hope it keeps going this well.
This is our campaign screen. So this is what we call it's like a job posting that brands will post on Market Price. So a company can sign up. They tell us about their name, their website, what their opportunity is, what they're looking for. And when an athlete logs in, this is the first screen that they see after filling out their profile, right? So hometown, college, social media accounts, they're able to sort through hundreds of different campaign opportunities, anything from protein bars to water bottles to healthy gummy bears to, Renee, you just launched your own NFT, right?
I did.
There's all these different opportunities here. And the one thing that they have in common, the most important thing, is they've all signed up to Market Price with one intention in mind, right? They want to work with athletes today. The best part about Market Price is we truly empower these athletes. We're breaking down the barriers of entry for any athlete to connect with any brand, however often they want. We've drove over 2,000 of these matches between athletes, agents, and brands. We've grown to a network of 1,300 athletes as well as 300 different companies. We looked at our numbers. 93% of student athletes that had memberships on Market Price were able to connect with at least one brand. And then looking at the breakdown of the deals that came from that, 50-50 split between males and females. Now, I don't need to tell you guys that's the way that it should be. That's not the way that it has been. And that's something that we're really passionate about here at Market Price. Quickly taking a look at our business model, we generate most of our revenue today off of a monthly membership. So we charge athletes and agents small monthly membership. Think of it like a Netflix subscription. Once you're in, you're in. You get access to our team, our network, our technology. We also take a 5% fee on top of cash deals. So we would charge the brand $105. We would tell the athlete, hey, we have your money in escrow. Once the deal is 100% completed, we'll send you the payment right away within the same day of the deal closing. We're looking to raise $150,000 from you guys in exchange for 1% of the business.
1%?
Yeah. I mean, to close out, like, Renee, you've done so many amazing things on the court, obviously. Arguably more important, you've done so many things off the court. So we know you'd be a great fit. All of you guys would be a great fit. So we'd love to have you guys join the team. And what do you say? Do you want to start revolutionizing the athlete marketing world with us?
Great pitch. Okay, great pitch, Jason.
Jason.
You're in a space where we know it's booming in name, image, and likeness. You can't turn on any TV without hearing those words. So, and I know I have a lot of questions about the numbers, but do you have any questions? This is marketing, so this is right in her wheelhouse.
Let's do it.
I really love the concept, you know, especially like you said, comparing it to a dating app. Does the person have to create a profile?
So one of the most important parts is the athlete fills out their profile. We keep it so simple. It takes like 30 seconds. But what's taken us this far that separates us from our competitors is we put the power into the athlete's hands, and we make it so easy. It's in 2 clicks. That's the dating app analogy.
Tell me, how much does it cost for the website? And I see you have 7 employees.
Yeah.
Are you operating in the red?
So in terms of financials, so we are generating about $10,000 of monthly recurring revenue. So in terms of the numbers that you were asking, Snook, our expenses are about $24,000 every single month. And again, we're making $10,000 a month in recurring revenue. Our last 3 hires were all within the last, I want to say 6 to 7 weeks. Our only 2 salespeople, as well as an account manager. So we're doing all this numbers basically bootstrapped, and now we're raising this money and raising this fund to really scale this.
That valuation, I was like, $10,000 a month, losing $24K a month. I mean, I see the vision, but I'm trying to make the math make sense.
Coming up, Team Montgomery takes a deep dive into Market Price's finances.
How did you get to 15 million off of 10K a month in subscriptions and burning 24K a month?
If we capture 1% of the college athlete market, that's 5,000 student athletes.
But that's an if.
Team Montgomery and Market Price talk numbers. Let's see if Jason has a plan to get out of the red.
So we got to talk about the money.
Let's do
because
it.
you said 150K for 1%, that's the 15 million valuation.
Yeah.
How did you get to 15 million off of 10K a month in subscriptions and burning 24K a month?
I mean, you look at our cash flows, you look at the business model we have, and in our financial model, if we can capture, and one thing that we're going for, one milestone, is $1 million of ARR. And that's really the next step to raise a Series A. If we capture 1% of the college athlete market, that's 5,000 student athletes.
But that's an if. You're making 10,000 a month right now, and we're trying to get to 15 million valuation. To me, that's hard. I mean, I understand at spending 24 a month. So I can't see it. So you said that 10K a month is from subscriptions only?
Yes.
And then, so what is it for the 5% that a month?
Yeah, so for the 5% a month, we've had about $100,000 of cash deals go through our site and about $900,000 of product deals go through our site. So annualized over $1 million in GMV going through our platform.
But the product deals, how does that work for you guys if it's a product deal?
That's great for us.
But if there's no money being passed, how can you take 5% of a product deal?
We don't.
Okay, so certain deals won't have, but the subscription is just to keep, okay.
Do you guys put like social media ads out? How do they know about Market Price? How do they know to sign up for it? Is it already kind of like an established thing in the industry?
So we've actually been using social media quite a lot, reaching out one-on-one to athletes. Very similar to the Cameo approach, how they've built their site, right? One-on-one reach out. We've spent probably $600 on marketing so far, so we've spent very little.
For all the 8 months that you've been in existence?
Yeah.
600 total?
Yeah, $600 total. We paid 3 athletes $200 each to make a video for us. We've already had a lot of early traction in just 8 months, and that's something where we want to be able to be that place where people are going to.
But you're not that place yet, is what you're saying.
You're right. That's
but
why
you want me to pay for the place you're going to be is what you're trying to get me to pay for, where you're going and not where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they're jiving with the valuation that our company has. So right now, we're valuing our company at $15 million. I think Renee was having a tough time understanding where we're getting that valuation from and paying for where we plan to go versus where we are at now. So that's one objection I'm definitely gonna have to handle. We have the smaller athletes, the non-superstar athletes. We know the problem that they struggle with, see at the table. But there are other problems that you probably struggle with where, for example, we have some equity deals on Marketplace where some athletes can invest in companies where if we, again, depended on a commission, we wouldn't allow that to happen. There's so much potential here to be able to make that connection. And that's why I said democratizing athlete marketing, breaking down the barriers of entry. If we charge a big commission, you can't do that. You can't. It goes against the business model.
Love the pitch, Jason. Honestly, market price, great. There's a lot to chew on. There's numbers, but I want to talk it over with my team. But thank you for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason came into that boardroom with a strong pitch and a vision for where his company is going. Market Price has a clear model for athlete monetization, make it an engaging and easy-to-use platform for its target audience. While the product is starting out small, Jason does have big plans for the future. But with Jason's current valuation, the real question is, does Renee think the potential matches the reality?
Next, we have a company that is all about protecting the active athlete during in-game play of their respective sport.
Hi, I'm Dana Hawes, co-founder and chief strategic officer for Smartmouth.
My name is Nolan Rollins, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Smartmouth.
The challenge was changing the public perception of what a mouth guard is, because this is as far away from a mouth guard in its traditional sense as it could be. It's a smart wearable that's strategically placed in the mouth. So from the mouth, you can collect all sorts of data.
When Dana came to me with the idea, I was completely excited. Smartmouth could have saved my life. But for me catching it earlier when I was actually dehydrated, I could not be having this conversation right now.
I see that the sky is the limit, largely from the perspective of protecting young people. As a parent, as a principal, that's one of the most important priorities in my life.
That's what was really the goal for me, is to be a part of something that's going to make a difference while we're doing good and doing well at the same time.
The team over at Smartmouth caters to athlete safety. After 11 years in the WNBA, Renee can appreciate the importance of on-court protection. While our entrepreneurs get ready to pitch, I want to make sure that they're feeling comfortable and confident while standing up there in the boardroom. Nolan, Dana, welcome to UBS. Let's have a seat and talk about your pitch. Come on.
Sounds great.
All right, I'm excited to get you guys in the boardroom today. We're gonna start with a couple key coaching points. First, personalized customer acquisition strategies. This has been an issue that's been around for a while. And customers are used to buying your product a certain way. How will you change that strategy and convince people to buy your product? What's your acquisition strategy for different markets? When I say that, I mean first-time buyers or experienced mouthguard buyers. Number two, in this industry, why is change necessary? Me being a former athlete, I've bought mouthguards the same way pretty much my whole career. Why is your product the direction this industry needs to go?
Great point.
With your competitors, why is your mouthguard different and special and going to change the way we look at mouthguards moving towards the future? Number three, give real-life examples of Smartmouth's health benefits and how it will increase athletic performance. Make sure Renee sees the long-term play here. This is not just an athletic opportunity. There's some data involved and some tech involved. Make sure you touch on those points. I think both of you are ready. I'm gonna wish you luck as you walk in. Remember my points.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you so much.
Well, hello, guys. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. My name is Nolan Rollins, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Smartmouth.
Indeed, I'm Dana Hawes. I am the co-founder and CSO for Smartmouth. I'd like to begin by giving you just a bit of introduction as to the history of Smartmouth. The idea came to me when I was watching the NBA playoffs a number of years ago, and LeBron James dehydrated. He experienced muscle cramps and fatigue so desperately that he needed to be carried off the court. When that happened, he took his mouth guard out, and I thought when I saw that, we might have been able to discover the solution for his problem for dehydration literally right underneath his nose. What started out as a goal to protect one man quickly evolved into a mission to save so many other people once I learned how dehydration and heat-related injuries affect so many others. Most people would be surprised to learn that nearly 8,000 young people experience disability or death as a result of heat-related injuries every single year.
What we have here with Smartmouth is a way that parents and coaches and everyone can actually see what's happening on the inside of a child's body, what's happening on the inside of an athlete's body in real time. So our alpha version really focused on hydration. And what we actually did was we went back and we challenged our team after we really were able to crack hydration. We went back and said, listen, there's things that we can do with a sensor that we couldn't do just 5 or 6 years ago. So now let's go to core body temperature, heart rate, COVID symptom detection. At this point, we're close to 10 different biometric markers that we'll actually be able to monitor through that. So we wanted to make sure that you got a chance to see what the alpha version looked like. Well, this is Spock. We call it Spock because we're nerds. And what we're looking to do is to go now to the beta version. We know that there are mandatory sports that you have to wear a mouth guard in. We actually think by starting with the mandatory mouth guard space, we're not changing behavior because they have to wear mouth guards anyway. But that doesn't mean that we aren't thinking about other areas. We're definitely thinking about soccer. We're definitely thinking about basketball. We're even thinking about the military. We're thinking about smart bits for horses. This next phase of development for us, we're actually making an ask to you now for $150,000 for 5% of the company. And this is a part of our $2.5 million raise. We are unapologetically going to absolutely continue developing our products at HBCUs. So because we are HBCU graduates, because we actually grew up together and we're fraternity brothers, we've made a conscious decision that the small group of HBCUs that we're going to work with are going to have an equity interest in the company. So if we can build a cutting-edge technology, and if we can leverage that on an HBCU campus, thereby bringing our mission directly to them and ensure that we're helping with their bottom line, we really think that the mission of Smartmouth is more about just saving people, but it's also about saving an opportunity for kids who couldn't go to an HBCU without a scholarship. And the large play for us is really predictable analytics. So here's the thing. This is for us a way to collect an enormous amount of data. Now, imagine being able to take that kind of data and saying, hey, this group of people they're predisposed to having hypertension. So while we're very interested in saving the lives of individuals, we think the data that we will be ultimately collecting on this will be able to save groups and groups of people. And we think that that's critically important. And so the other question is, so Nolan and Dana, how do you actually make money? I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So the way that we actually make money is there are 3 ways that we think about this. So again, the hardware itself. So purchasing Smartmouth, the hardware, is one way. The brand opportunities on Smartmouth could be enormous, right? You imagine any corporation, USA, opportunity right there. But the data, monthly, if we have, and we call them lights, if we have all the lights turned on, so you're reading all of your biomedical markers, there's a monthly subscription charge that you're actually getting directly from there's the smiles, directly from that. So there's a really interesting opportunity because we think that the real big play is in the data. So that's how we're thinking about the business and the business model.
Awesome. What fraternity are y'all brothers in?
We're alphas.
Okay. Because we are an HBCU family. My Snook and Diddy, which my parents, they met in the HBCU. So when you talk about HBCUs, you're talking our language. Everything you're saying is right on line for us. I do have a question, though. Can I see it, actually, to see how
the prototype? Sure.
Yeah, just because, people are very particular about mouth guards. And,
Yes.
So I know that I've had teammates that if they're not thin enough, if they feel a certain way. So this is called the Spock.
So think about it this way. So the mouth guard that we would have for the football player would look different than the mouth guard for the basketball player.
Ask.
So we're thinking all the way from the thickest for the football player to the thinnest in the military, where it's more like an Invisalign.
Well, so far I think it's going incredibly well. I think we are reasonably prepared for the questions. I feel like we're in a good space.
I think that we're having a real back and forth dialogue, so it really feels comfortable in there, and I think they really get Smartmouth and Renee being together.
Up next, Team Montgomery assesses Smartmouth's marketing strategy.
How close is this to being on the market?
Oh, we're a little while away.
So far, Smartmouth has the attention of Team Montgomery, but will they be able to sell their marketing strategy?
I know you did a $2.5 million raise, but what's your numbers to date for that evaluation, the $150K for 5%?
We're in the section right now where we're just raising this 2.5.
Okay.
So everything that we've done from here was bootstrapping. So we actually do have a pro forma that we can certainly share with you, and our cost of goods in the first year is $96. By the time that we get to fifth year, where we really see scale, we're getting down to $62. So in that same trajectory, cost of goods in retail would be about $245. And then to scale, we would get it down to about $156.
Real quick, how close are you guys to going public? Like, how close is this to being on the market?
Oh, we're a little while away. So really for us, it's a capital conversation. Capital will move us quickly to get it done, but we really think that a 3-month time period for data to understand what it looks like and understand the changes that we need to make, we think that's probably ideal.
One thing that makes me a little bit nervous about Smartmouth is they haven't gotten a chance to test the product. And I love that they're gonna test it and have a 3-month program for that, but just sight unseen, that's a little scary.
Let's talk about your patents and your IP.
So we actually already have a patent in place. So the alpha version that you're holding right now, that's already patented. Okay. So what we've actually done now is the beta version. We actually have provisional patents both domestically and internationally that we've actually just had filed.
So what makes you guys different from the other people in the market that have this type of product?
So the other folks in the market that have the type of product have really been focused on CTE and impact detection. What we're doing is, as I mentioned, we're already up to 10 different biomarkers that we're actually monitoring.
Including CTE?
Including the accelerometer.
So is there like a mobile app that people have to keep checking for, to get those results or those stats?
In relation to the app, that development is working concurrently with the firmware because we recognize that we can have the most robust technological advancements with the firmware to include parents, guardians, coaches, trainers on the sideline can't access that data in a meaningful way, then it's for naught.
I think that they're asking tough questions in there, and those questions are ones that we have to make sure that we have great answers to.
They're absolutely looking for reasons to have greater confidence in us as a team because no one wants to invest money in a group of people that can't fulfill the obligations of the company.
Is there a way with the technology to just transfer out the outside and keep the inside so that there's a cheaper price point like after your first purchase?
The inside of the mouth guard where the smart plate is, that's the thing that keeps riding with you.
Yeah.
All you're gonna do is change out the chewy part that you actually change out every year. And the way that we're thinking about this is that when we're packaging it, you'll have the one that's connected directly to the mouth guard and an additional one of the comfort softer ones in there.
You talked about HBCUs you're gonna share equity with them. How much are you putting aside of the company to divvy up to those HBCUs?
So we at a maximum 1%.
Okay,
Yep.
so, and then the last thing was when we're talking about the different ways to use it, are you trying to sell direct to the mom and dad? Are you trying to license it to the universities? Like, where are you going with it?
So all of the above, but starting with a real direct-to-consumer.
Honestly, you guys, amazing pitch. As I'm sitting here holding Spock, I see all the possibilities, sleep apnea, the mouth guard. So thank you guys for coming in here and pitch. We have a lot to talk about with Spock, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you guys. Yes.
Nolan and Dana came into their pitch knowing their product inside and out, and their mouth guard is one that can clearly help the masses. And on top of that, the HBCU connection adds another dimension to the company that consumers can resonate with. A brand with a strong mission can go a long way. Let's see what direction Renee's team is leaning in the front office boardroom.
After the break, Team Montgomery makes their decision.
What will it be?
It was a tough decision, but
With both pitches wrapped up, it's time for Team Montgomery to make a decision. Meanwhile, Wale is close by with the entrepreneurs as we await the final decisions.
So while we sit here and wait for Renee to give me a text about her decision, I'm gonna give you guys some feedback on what I saw on your pitches. If you don't mind, I'll start with Jason. Let's start with the pros. I think you did a good job with the timeliness of it, the urgency of NIL, name, image, and likeness. You touched on that point, and that was great. I think overall you did a good job of appealing to all athletes, no matter where they are in their careers, from high school players to professional athletes and to retired players like myself. You touched on some good points there. I also think you did a good job of not only connecting to Renee, but to her team. They're family to her. that was a big point for you to do. With that said, I think there's some few things you could have done a little bit better in your pitch. First, I think you could have done a better job of explaining the long-term goals of your company. Explain to them why your company is built to last. Also, there were a few instances where you were a little vague or unclear with your answers. A world-class athlete and an educated investor like Renee and her team want nitty-gritty details to the answers. But overall, I think you did a great job, and I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Thanks, Wale. I really appreciate it.
Can I just start off by saying I'm excited because two great companies that I'm interested, though, two companies in completely different spaces. So what are our thoughts with that?
With Smartmouth, to let us know that they're in the very early stages, they're in the developmental stages. So, market price is definitely more far along. So I think that, I don't know, I think that this is a tough call to make just for me.
Well, although market price is further along, I just think that there's more earning potential with the Smartmouth because it has so many different, more platforms than, the sky's the limit for them.
When we think about market price, too, they have 1,300 athletes. They started 8 months ago. Yes, somebody could come and do exactly what market price does and do it better and then squash them, but it could be the reverse, too. In 8 months, they have 1,300 athletes. They have agents on there. They've made over $900,000 worth of deals in 8 months. This is a company that people will be like, well, why didn't you go with them? In 8 months, they did this. And you're like, oh, well, we thought people were going to knock them off. And what if they don't? So that's...
Yeah, but they're really banking on you being an ambassador for them to make that space for them and let them be the company to go to, for those kind of things. So I feel like there's a little...
There's more work on that side.
Yeah, there's the more work to be done. That's why I asked the question about how do you guys get the word out, because I am impressed with their numbers.
As I said, with this market price, I love it. I love the concept and everything, but we've seen it in the press where companies have backed off, but there are some pitfalls that might happen that no one has any control over.
So you like having the sure thing, 7 years, patents. See, Snook wants that sure thing. She don't want to play no games.
All right, Smartmouth. Let's talk about the positives first. Number one, I think you did a good job of talking about the size of the market. I really thought you did a good job of broadening her mind about the people who may use, and the animals that may use mouth guards. Did a good job with that. Next, I think you guys did a fantastic job discussing your IP and technology. A lot of investors want to get into the tech space. And because of that, I think you gave a compelling pitch. And I thought you guys did a great job of discussing your long-term plans for the company. But there are a few things that I, from my position, felt that you could have been clear on. The first and foremost, Renee may feel that you guys are too early stage in the process for your company. I thought that even though you're still early in the process and there's not a lot of sales, that you could have done a better job of explaining to her why your company is best suited for this market. Another point that I saw on the customer acquisition strategy, I think you guys could have been a little more clear and precise with who the market and the target market will be. It's okay you don't have sales, but there should have been a little more detail involved with the strategy of the company.
One thing that I will say about Smartmouth is that they do have a patent.
Multiple.
Exactly, they have multiple patents. And so I think that, it's a little bit less competition there just because there are so many competitors already, connecting agents and brands and athletes and things like that. I feel like their focus should be a little bit inverted than what it is now. They're trying to go direct to consumer, but I think that they'll have larger success if they go to the corporations first.
Definitely.
Smartmouth has the patent, so you know that once their product's out there, it's 7 years before anyone can copy or do anything that's like that. They have the market for this smart mouth guard, mouthpiece all by themselves, kind of, right at this point.
And it's interesting because, we know HBCUs are close to your heart as well, but that's not even how you're making your decision. Because you were a professor in HBCU for 30 years, but you're saying that you want the patents, you want the sure thing. It's not even just about that.
And I love the product. The product, I can see it saving lives. I think,
I love that.
This humanitarian part of it, and even in other countries across the world where they don't have access to doctors and things like we do here in America.
That's a good point with the foundation, RMF. We could even start to do something where what if their data for Smartmouth gets in the hands of countries that could use it. So I mean, there's just so much I like about both companies that is like, it's tough because on the one hand, we live in the marketing space. You know, we are marketing. Name, image, and likeness is my bread and butter. It's what I always do. And on the other hand, though, we have Smartmouth, and they're a company where the potential is endless. There's no ceiling. But we also, on the same hand, know that name, image, and likeness just exploded onto the scene. So
It's a tough choice.
I got a lot to think about, but I know somebody getting a deal today, okay? That's what I know. Somebody's getting a deal today. Let me text Wale and tell him that I think
We're ready?
I think we're about ready. Are we ready?
But overall, I thought both teams did an amazing job today. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I'm a little nervous. And as we wait for, you know what that means. A decision has been made. It's time for us to get in the ballroom. It looks like you have made a decision. What will it be?
You know, as a group, we made a decision, and it wasn't an easy decision because that's a testament to both companies. I mean, when we think about Smartmouth and the possibilities, they're endless. And when I think about market price, it's right in my wheelhouse. Name, image, and likeness is what we do on an everyday basis. It's what our company does on an everyday basis. So it was a tough decision, but I'm gonna ask Smartmouth if you guys could step out for a second as I talk to Jason about market price. Okay, so Jason, first of all, congratulations on seeing a need, seeing a want, and then just going out on your own and creating that. I mean, there's a demand there, we know it. Name, image, and likeness in the college world is booming. Your evaluation, though, you know, you asked for $150,000 for 1% of your company, a company that's making $10,000 a month, according to you. So it was tough for me to meet you there, but I love the concept, I love the brand. So I want to make you an offer, but we think that your evaluation was just a little too steep for where you are. Like I told you, you want me to pay for where you're going. You're not there yet. So yeah, we would like to offer you $150K for 15% of your company.
I really do appreciate that offer, and I would love the opportunity to find a way to work together. But I think my instant gut reaction is we did just raise $3 million at $15 million valuation. So it's $3 million in exchange for 20% of our business. I'm trying to think of how my investors would receive that information, right?
Well, I think you should tell them when we're talking about name, image, and likeness that I want to be a partner. The value that your investors may not bring is the name, image, and likeness, and I'm offering you mine to be an ambassador as well as an advisor.
Is it something where you'd maybe be open to offering a little bit less than $150,000 in exchange for a smaller percentage of the company?
What do you have in mind?
Well, definitely.
Talk to me nice now, Jason. You better talk to me nice. I know about that well.
Yeah. Is there maybe a minimum of, hey, look, if we put any less than this number, then I wouldn't really be able to give it my all? And again, I understand that goes against everything that you're about of pouring yourself into it. You could put $1 into a company and still invest 110%, but I hope you know what I mean by that.
I don't think I could go any lower than 10% just because of what we bring to the table and where we already are. And I know you see where you're going, so that's the tough part, but you know, you're not there yet.
Because I am a co-founder, is it okay if I give a call to my co-founder and just bounce some ideas off of where you guys are at, keeping in mind that you'd love to stay at least at that 10% number?
Go ahead.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back, guys.
Don't take too long.
All right, Wale, while Jason talks this over, can you bring in Smartmouth? I'd like to talk to them for a second. Okay. Welcome back, fellas.
Thank you.
Okay, so as we were talking to market price, we know that they're already out there. We know the product. We can see where they're going. With you all, it's difficult because you haven't gone to market yet, but we see so much potential. It's just we don't know how it's going to play out. Having said that, we would like to make you an offer. So we would like to offer you all $100,000 for 10% of your company.
Up next, Will Smartmouth accept Renee's counteroffer?
You know, you only wanted to give up 5%, but you're just not there yet.
And then, Jason from Market Price returns after consulting with his co-founder.
Okay, so as we were talking to Market Price, we know that they're already out there. We know the product. We can see where they're going. With you all, it's difficult because you haven't gone to market yet, but we see so much potential. It's just we don't know how it's going to play out. Having said that, we would like to make you an offer. So we would like to offer you all $100,000 for 10% of your company. You know, you only wanted to give up 5%, and we know that you love the brand, but we know so many things. You know, we're based in Atlanta, and if you guys know what that means, that's one of the places that have the most HBCUs in the nation. We have HBCU backgrounds. This is an alumni, you know, so we are the living, breathing story. We love what you want to do with it as far as giving equity to HBCUs. We love everything about the company. The evaluation, we understand the window, but you're just not there yet, and we would love to be a part of your company if you'd have us.
Well, I mean, I think that I'm comfortable with saying this, that we certainly appreciate your offer, and we understand that you know the vision of where we're going, and we'd love nothing more than to be in business with you.
So is that a deal?
That's a deal.
Let's go! Just Montgomery!
Renee is an athlete herself. She understands the importance of safety in athletics. She understands the importance of making sure that we know what's happening inside our bodies. But she's also, much like us, she's kind of born and bred in the HBCU environment. So not only does she get it from a human standpoint, she gets it from an idea standpoint. So we just think that it's just a perfect match. It's a match made in heaven.
This is probably one of the most important developments we've had with the company since its inception.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Congratulations
You guys were
on what
amazing.
you're building. It's beautiful. I love that you're going to be unapologetic. We will be unapologetic with you. I'm bringing my Smartmouth to the table, and we want to continue to build. Well, as you guys know, I was bred at an HBCU, so I'm so excited for this partnership, and we're going to have a lot of work to do, but I'm excited for it.
Hello again.
I'm back.
Long time no talk.
That must have been a great call.
That was a long time, Jason.
Business people, they can talk forever.
Okay.
I thought it went really well. I think one thing that I got across to my partner, basically I explained how valuable your team can be. And I was like, if we're gonna take 10 athletes to invest in Market Price, any 10 athletes in the world, Renee's up there. It's hard to find 10 more that are more valuable. But in 2 days, we're about to close at a $15 million valuation from some really smart financial investors who value the company at $15 million. So what I came back with our investors is what I'd love to see if you all are open to investing a little bit more than the $150,000, so it'd be $200,000 at 5% of the company with milestones that maybe we could work towards to get you more percentage of the company. That values the company at $4 million, which is still a 75% discount on what we're about to close within the next 2 days.
I understand how it works when you have an investment group there. They want to bang for their buck the same way I do. I want to say thank you for appreciating the value in name, image, and likeness, because as we talked about, when we're doing different numbers, you know, people typically pay me $25,000 for 6 hours of my time to be an ambassador, and I'm asking to be an ambassador of your company. So having said all of that, I think we can live at $200K for 5%. If that's good with you, then you have yourself a deal.
I was the one who said that.
Let's go then!
Whew. God, that was nerve-wracking. But we came out with the result that we wanted, right? We got the investment from Renee and muchos Montgomerys. The alignment with what Renee believes in, right? Giving every single athlete a seat at the table and democratizing athlete marketing. That just speaks exactly the same language that we are at Market Price. So we really can't wait to start getting to work with our team.
Jason, after some tough negotiations, I was happy you were able to come and make a deal. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
So excited to work with you all.
congratulations. Honestly, what you're building at Market Price, I'm so excited. This is our space. We love this area, so let's build together.
Let's do it.
Let's set the price. Let's do it.
Yes.
As you know, name, image, and likeness is exploding onto the scene. Everybody's getting paid for their name, their image, and their likeness, and I want to get paid with you and help these athletes brand themselves the way they want to be branded. So let's get to work.
Absolutely.
Let's do this. So I'm loving this, but why don't we make it a party? Wale, what do you feel like? Can you bring Smartmouth back in here? Let's talk
I got
to
you.
him.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about it. Let's go. I wanted to bring all of you all in here because first of all, welcome to the family, Muchos Montgomery's family. We're happy to have you be a part of it because these are two brands that I think not only solve a problem, but it helps people along the way. It gives college athletes that may not have been able to connect to those brands, it gives them an avenue to connect directly. And then when you're talking about Smartmouth, it's a product that can not only save lives, but it can be a generational thing when we talk about HBCUs. So we see the vision for that. And we couldn't decide. We talked about it. We couldn't make a decision. We love both so much that we said yes to both. So thank you guys for coming in here and pitching to us. And welcome to the family. Let's go. Welcome to the family, guys. So when I came to UBS, I came to make a deal. And we had a lot of fun today. And what really attracted me to these companies was the co-founders. So I have some great people that I'm excited to work with in the future. The possibilities are endless.
Renee has decided to invest in both Market Price and Smartmouth. As a former athlete, this puts Renee in a position to protect athletes on and off the court. We'll see you next time on Front Office. Presented by UBS on Players TV.